The indicators that happen to us every single day. What are these indicators? The indicators are the songs that you talk about with a friend, and then all of a sudden you hear that song played from a vehicle that drives by. Indicator. The time when you think of a certain event that took place and you remember the person that was involved with that. Next thing you know, you go to the store and that person is standing in line. Indicator. And these are things that happen every single day, everywhere you go. Indicators. These are the answers to all of the questions that you have. Literally. You have a lot of questions in your mind right now because we're in this current situation. Okay? Questions upon questions upon questions. Your mind is in a quandary. What will happen next? How will I survive? All of that. Well, the answers to that question are already with you. Some are more obvious than others. But if you pay attention, and I don't just mean pay attention to what you discuss amongst your family and friends, but pay attention to the things that you don't give much attention to. The birds that fly over, the objects that show up, the signs on a billboard, or words on a billboard rather. Those are the true answers, along with the other stuff. But this is something that needs to be acknowledged because it is a guide to the steps that you take. It's the difference between going right or left or right. It's the difference between interacting with certain people. It's everything. And the more you meditate, the more these answers become pronounced, or I should say the more these indicators become pronounced. This happens daily, whether you're inside or outside. Okay? And it's also a symbol of how strong your thoughts are. When you think about your mother and then she calls. When you maybe read a book and that book is talking about a particular subject and then you see a commercial on television or online that mentions that subject. This is how connected your thoughts are. Just another indication of what can happen when you're tapped in. Now, of course, these things happen when you're not tapped in because they happen and you usually blow it off. You usually think nothing of it. Well, imagine if you thought something of it. Imagine if these indicators became a bigger deal. Imagine if you actually tracked down these things, where you wrote it down, you wrote the time, what happened. You would see how often these things take place. Imagine if you were to track every single moment that has ever happened in your life. There would be a lot of dots. That timeline would be filled up. So try doing this. Pay attention. Listen for the indicators. This is your guide. Stay focused. So don't be afraid to go inside of yourself, because that's where the real magic is. We've discussed this on previous episodes. Going forward, I hope that you will put some of this into practice. I do not claim to be an expert. I am just here to help. I am a guide.